Hey guys, welcome back. In the last lecture, we displayed Rails flash messages into Bootstrap 5 alerts. Now, in this lecture, we will see how we can generate QR code in Rails application, and we will use this QR code to verify the bookings for customer. Okay, so let's start implementing this feature. First, you need to add a gem into your gem file, and the gem is gem QR code, and you can find this on Google. Okay, you can Google this gem and you can find this repository, and there is the instruction on the repository of this gem, so you can add this gem rqr code 2.0 into your rails uh, application gem file. Okay, so open your gem file. Now let's come to the bottom of the gem file, and at the bottom of this you can paste this gem and save it and switch to the terminal and run bundle install. Okay, here you can see that rqr code core and chunky png gem has been added into our application. Okay, now let's discuss first why we are using this QR code and where gonna we display this QR code in our application. Okay, so the main purpose for main purpose of this lecture to how to generate the QR code in Rails is that to teach you that this is a kind of feature that you might need to implement in various apps like e-commerce apps, some ticketing apps, some code scanner features, okay, and so on. For example, when you book ticket for an event or a movie on some online platform, then you see that right after booking, create booking tickets has been done for you. Okay, the platform send you a QR code or on WhatsApp or email, or send some link to open the QR code in the message. Okay, and at the event place you display the QR code and they scan that code and they will verify the information for you that app shared between you and the person who is scanning the QR code. Okay, why it happens, why that the QR code has some information encoded itself. Okay, and that can be used to verify the details or identity. Okay, so that's why I thought to make a lecture on this topic, and if you follow this it would be very helpful for you, and you will find some applications that where you have to deal with such QR code applications. Okay, now where we gonna display this QR code? So we will display this QR code inside the booking confirmation email, and by scanning that QR code, one can see the customer's booking details. Okay, that's it. Now towards the implementing this feature, we need to create a booking detail action in the bookings controller where we will redirect once the QR code has been scanned. Okay, so open the bookings controller in your app directory, go to the app and then controllers, and then you can open the bookings controller, and in this booking controller we need to define a member action. Okay, that will display the details of the booking. Okay, and with that booking we can find the details of the customer and workshop as well. Okay, so right after this create booking create action, define action, let's say def booking details and method. And in this method what we will render, that we will find a customer sorry, a booking, and then we will display the details of that booking. Okay, so here you can write at the booking equal to booking dot find, and then prompts id. Okay, because I'm going to make this a member action. Okay, now we defined the action, so what we need to do as the next step, so we need to open the routes file and make an entry for this action. Okay, so go to the config directory and open the routes.rb and define a method inside the booking resources. So here you can do create do, and then inside these resources you can add get booking details and define an option as on member. Okay, now save the file, routes file, and close it because we don't need this file anymore. But first let's check the typo because I make these mistakes a lot of time. Okay, so just add the booking details here. Okay, so we are correct. Now close the routes.rb. Okay, since we defined the routes and we defined the action, now what we need to do, we need to create a view template for it. So go to the views directory and you can see that we do not have any bookings directory inside the app view. So first we need to create the bookings directory. So create a new directory inside app views and name it at bookings. And inside the bookings we need to create a html.erb file with booking details. So inside the bookings, let's create the new file and save it as booking details.html.erb. Okay. Now we need to implement some HTML inside this booking action. So let's define a column class here, div class, and then call LG. We can use 12 or LG 12, and inside the 12, what we can do, we can define a card here, div class card. By the way, card is my favorite bootstrap element, so I use this mostly. But if you wish, you can use other elements as well to display the information. Okay, but card is better. Card shadow and then MT5 and then MB5. Okay, sorry. And close this card. Inside this card, we need to add a card header that will keep the title of the workshop or name of the workshop. Okay, so let's add a card header division here. Div class card header, and inside that header what we can use, we can define an s3 element, and into that s3 element we can display the workshop name. So s3, close this s3, and here what we can do, at the rate booking dot workshop dot name. Okay, save this. And now after this card header we need to define the card body. Okay, so let's define a card body here, div class card body, and inside this body we can define our elements. Okay, so first will be the s3, and this will be the details of the customer name and its email. Okay, so we will combine both attributes and separate it via some slash. Okay, so at the booking dot customer dot full name, booking dot customer dot full name, and then slash. Here what we can do, booking dot customer dot email, booking dot customer dot email. Okay, save this. And now after this s3, what we need to do, that we can display some booking details here. Okay, since we will be using QR code from now after this feature, okay, to display and verify the customer and booking details, so we can remove some snippet from the booking confirmation mailer. Okay, and we can use inside this template like number of tickets, workshop details, and amount paid, and so on. Okay, so first open the bookings mailer. Okay, and inside the bookings mailer you can see that we have a template for booking confirmation html.erb. Okay, so now you can see that we require some booking details and workshop schedules at the booking details page. Okay, so we can just keep this code as it is. Sorry, we can just copy this code as it is and cut from here, or we can remove this from here. Okay, and now we will use this snippet in this file as it is. Okay, save this file and save the booking confirmation as well, because we are not going to display the workshop schedule and number of tickets anymore in this booking confirmation email preview or mailer template. Okay, now at this stage we are half done. Okay, so now let's try to see how this booking details template will visible on the browser. Okay, so we can open the browser. Our server is running, so here you can provide, let's say, bookings, and then let's say suppose we have id 10 and then booking details. Okay, and okay, so we cannot find booking with id 10. Let's say if we have with id 20. Okay, now let's try to see what is the latest id we have in our database. Okay, so just fetch some booking with some id. Okay, so let's say booking.ids. Okay, so we have 3412. So go to the browser and provide 3 to this booking. Okay, so we cannot see total duration. Okay, so we just copied the text as it is. So we need to remove this. Like we can do booking.workshop, and here also at the rate booking.workshop. Okay, save it. It happens when you just copy and paste in hurry and forget something. Okay, make some space here as well. Okay, now refresh the page. You will see the booking details. Okay, so booking details will be visible like this. So here you can see that workshop title in the card header, and person customer name with email, booking details, number of tickets, amount paid, and this is the workshop schedules. Okay, now we are half done at this point. Okay, we installed rqr code, create a booking detail page to redirect after scanning the qr code. Okay, and we displayed the booking details template on browser as well. Now it's time to generate the qr code. Okay, and we will generate this qr code inside the booking confirmation mailer action. Okay, so let's switch to the mailer action. Okay, so open the app mailers booking confirm booking mailer, go to the mailers and open the bookings mailer. Sorry, booking confirmation. Now what we need to do, first let me give a walkthrough for the rqr code. So okay, so here you can see that how it is generating the rqr code. It just require the rqr code and then initialize the class and then provide a url. Okay, so whenever somebody scan this qr code, it will redirect you on the url mentioned for this qr code, or url is used to generate this qr code. Okay, so we will be using the qr we will be generating qr code as svg. Okay, so we will use this kind of qr code in our application. Okay, so first let's write this rq require this rqr code inside the mailer. Okay, so now at the top of the mailer class, just require this. Okay, and then you can use this snippet as it is. Okay, however if you wish you can customize as well and use this here. Okay, let's correct the indentation. Okay, now let's make it at the rate svg. Okay, because we will be using this qr code at the view template. Okay, and for the view template we need to append at the rate symbol to the variable name. Okay, now you can remove this comment and keep this method blank for now. Now here you can see that URL option is still empty here. Okay, and we need to generate URL of for this path. Okay, so we need to create a booking mailer, a booking detail page URL here. Okay, but we cannot use Rails style path or Rails URL helpers path here directly inside the mailer. It will give you an error. Okay, so to define a method to prepare path for booking details, we will create a private action inside this mailer, just like we create private action inside the controller. So we can use that here as well. Okay, and then that will generate, that will prepare a path to generate the qr code for us. Okay, so just come here and define the private. Okay, and in this method, in this private you can write, let's say def booking root url. Okay, and here you will accept an argument that will be the booking id, and here you will write your logic to prepare the path. Okay, but here since we are working in the local environment or local development mode, so we will use the local host. Okay, but in production the url will be different. Okay, so we will keep the production part as to do. Okay, but for now we will generate the url for development environment only. Okay, so but first we need to check that whether we are in Rails development environment. Okay, so how we can check that? Rails dot env dot development. If this true, then we will generate our URL here. Else we will add a to do here. Okay, so add the to do first and then we will write the code. So to do prepare prod URL. Okay, and now we will just prepare the development environment. Okay, add the double quoted string because we will make some string interpolation here. HTTP localhost colon 3000. Okay, and then bookings. Okay, and here you can see the path in the URL at the localhost bookings. Then we need booking ID, and then we can add this booking detail. Okay, so booking ID must be dynamic, so we can add this argument booking ID here. So booking ID, and then this booking details at the last. Okay, now save this and copy this and call this method inside the arg- new method of the QR code, Rqr code. Okay, we can just copy it here. Since we are getting this booking in as an argument inside the booking confirmation action, so we just need to put booking dot id, remove that underscore and replace it by dot symbol. Okay, now save this file. So we are all done. Okay, so what we done so far, that we added gem for generating the QR code. We added the action inside the bookings controller to display the details of the bookings and booking and the customer. Okay, and we added the code for generating QR code into the to display that in the mailer. Okay, now as the final step, we just need to display this svg inside the mailer template. Okay, so just copy that, and here what we can do it like, let's say at that svg, but that will not work. Okay, this will just display the html code of svg. Okay, but we want to display the qr code, so we need to call a method html safe here. Okay, and that will just display qr code and not display the svg code in html format. Okay, so save this. Now let's test this feature by creating a new booking for a customer. Okay, so go to the browser, and inside the browser let's open a workshop detail page. Okay, so click this workshop and create a new booking. Let's say use existing customer, or we can use, let's say, 9 and number of tickets I want to book, let's say 9, and provide the card details here. Okay, so 4242, I think it's wrong number. Provide CVV 123, month 1, and then year 2023. Okay, now make some space at the terminal. First restart the terminal because we added this gem. Okay, so this will not work if we will not restart the server. Okay, so now we restarted the server. Okay, so open the browser and submit the form. Click on the book your tickets now and see the terminal. Okay, here you can see that a mailer preview has been generated, and you can see the QR code inside the mailer, like, hello Ravi Singh Kashyap, your booking for full stack Python Django development bootcamp has been confirmed. Please find the booking details below. Now one can scan this QR code, and that will redirect him on the detail page of the customer, or of the booking, sorry. Now you can try this QR code by scanning any scanner available in your mobile phone. Okay, however, when you scan this QR code, you might get error because this link is only accessible in development environment. Okay, but for prod URL, this will definitely work. And if you want to test this successfully, you can also use ngrok to create tunneled URL with HTTPS protocol. Okay, however, you can explore ngrok at your end, because in this lecture, I'm not going to explain that. We will definitely cover ngrok in some other lecture, but not in this lecture. Okay, so that's all from this lecture. Please go through the entire lecture and try this at your end as well, and let me know if you face any difficulties while trying this QR code generation. Okay, so thanks for watching this, and let's meet into another lecture with another exciting topic. Till then, tata, goodbye, take care, and stay safe.